And a very good evening to you. Welcome to KBC Channel 1. This is Easy Friday. My name is Shiksha Arora on this 9th day of February, where verdict is out. Joseph Irungu, alias Joey, has been found guilty of murdering Monica Kimani in September 2018. So those details will be out later on. Of course, we'll be telling you the latest with regards to what's been happening, as Jackie Maribe also is going to bed a free woman after 6 years in the same case. So we'll be giving you all those details in the course of our bulletin. But for now, it's time for the highlights.
The deceased did not die of an accidental or natural cause. The death was not accidental, it was not an unnatural death.
Joseph Irungu, alias Joey, convicted in the murder of Monica Kimani, but Jackie Maribe is set free.
Na mimi niambie police officers in this region, munajaribu mimi na William Ruto. You are trying us. Watu 23 wakikufa mlikuwa wapi? Ni kwa sababu nyinyi watu ya polisi kazi yenu ni kuchukua hongo kwa hii watu.
Kirinyaga lethal brew. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua directs recall of security officers. Parliamentary committee dismisses proposed law to formalize non-formal learning institutions in informal settlements. Welcome to Easy Friday. My name is Shiksha Arora, and our sign language interpreter tonight is Byron Abuli. Now, our top story. The High Court has found Joseph Irungu, aka Joey, guilty of murdering Monica Kimani in September 2018. High Court Judge Grace Nzioka said the prosecution proved the case against him beyond reasonable doubt. Joey has now been remanded until the 8th of March this year, when he will appear in court for sentencing. Meanwhile, his co-accused, former journalist Jackie Maribe, was acquitted on the grounds that no evidence placed her at the scene of the crime. Take a look.
High Court Judge Grace Nzioka, while delivering the 117-page judgment in summary, analyzed submissions made by both the prosecution and the defense.
The prosecution called a total of 35 witnesses, whereas each accused person offered their defense. The first accused person offering his defense through a sworn statement, and the second accused person opting to defend herself through an unsworn statement.
Justice Nzioka said the court has been convinced that Joseph Irungu, aka Joey, intentionally murdered Monica Kimani.
It is the finding of this court that the deceased did not die of an accidental or natural cause. The death was not accidental, it was not an unnatural death. Therefore, this is a clear case of homicide that falls outside the excusable homicides.
In his defense, Joey had argued that he was in Kimani's house only for 10 minutes, a period too short for one to kill, but the court established otherwise.
This court visited the scene. This court had the benefit of seeing and monitoring and appreciating the distance from Roadhouse to where the deceased was staying. Less than 15 minutes walk. And so if really indeed this first accused person left Jennings at 8:30, he would not have taken more than 15 minutes to be in the deceased house. And that corroborates the evidence of Jennings. By 9 o'clock he was in the deceased house. And so my conclusion is the argument about 10 minutes not tenable.
In her ruling, Justice Nzioka further poked holes into Joey's actions post the murder.
Corroborated by the evidence of no other person than the first accused person himself, is that by 19th of September 2018, the first accused person was in possession of a gun.
The submission by the defense that Joey never knew the deceased before the killing was reported was also proven otherwise through analysis of mobile phone communication between the two and Monica's brother, who said the two schooled together in one of the local colleges. Former journalist Jackie Maribe was acquitted on grounds that no investigations placed her at the scene of the crime, despite her contradictory statements concerning Joey's shooting incident. Maribe was represented by Katwa Kigen, while Joey was represented by Professor Hassan Nandwa. The 117-page judgment now indicates a new dawn in the life of journalist Jackie Maribe. But for Joseph Irungu, it ended in tears. Tilio Marco for Easy Friday.
Now, Jackie Maribe is tonight going to bed a free woman. After 6 years of endless scrutiny, the once promising television journalist has finally disentangled herself from a legal yoke that had yanked her from a plum job at one of the country's leading media organizations. Our court reporter, Ruth Wamboi, has the details.
Dressed in white and yellow, Jackie Maribe sat quietly and keenly stared at Justice Grace Nzioka unpacking details the event that led to the conviction of Joseph Irungu. For Maribe, Friday's acquittal is the culmination of a tumultuous 6-year run, all of which was spent in and out of the docks, fighting to distance herself from the gruesome murder of a businesswoman, Monica Kimani. It all began on 21st September 2018 when she broke the news of the murder of a 28-year-old woman in one of Nairobi's leafy suburbs.
Police in Nairobi are investigating the murder of a businesswoman found dead at her rented apartment in Lumwera Gardens, Kilimani area this morning.
6 days later, Maribe, accompanied by her parents and lawyer Katwa Kigen, presented herself before the DCI to answer to questions related to the death of Monica Kimani and a gun incident at her house in Langata.
And the question posed at this stage is, was there an offense committed when the second accused person gave a statement to the investigating officer at Langata police station, which turned out to be not true? I say no more. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution know their mandate. The result is that the prosecution did not adduce adequate evidence for this court to find the second accused person guilty of the offense of murder.
On Friday, Justice Nzioka poked holes into that statement, saying it was inconsistent with the events that transpired at the Royal Park Estate where she resided with the ex-lover, Joseph Irungu.
Throughout the period, her conscience has been clear and the evidence has never at any time suggested that she was implicated. She was not at the scene, she didn't know her, she had no reason to want her dead.
We have suffered both emotionally, financially and everything else. But we thank God that He has come to this kind of an end. Like Wakili has said, we were never in doubt about the outcome because we assist all the facts of the case.
Many a times we were in the courtroom and we would see messages of things that have been said. I want to believe that it did not cause us to feel like at the end we would be in a position to get what we needed.
But in the end, none of the evidence presented before the court pointed at Maribe knowing or killing Monica Kimani. Ruth Wamboi for Easy Friday.
Now moving on, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has urged the boy child to shun drugs and substance abuse and focus on education. Gachagua, who visited Kirinyaga Boys High School in Kirinyaga County, reiterated the importance of hard work and discipline, promising to help turn his alma mater into a model institution. Take a look.
The lethal brew tragedy in Kirinyaga continues, drawing criticism with the Deputy President. A crusade against illicit brew, drug and substance abuse, announcing stern action against security officers in the area.
We are not going to transfer anybody who fails in his duty. Kwa sababu transferring failures is transferring a problem. All other counties are part of Kenya. Wale wamesababisha vifo Kirinyaga hawezi pelekwa Kiambu.
The Deputy President, who was in Kutus, Kirinyaga, also asked the judiciary to stop issuing orders barring the arrest and prosecution of rogue traders.
Na mimi I want to appeal to the Chief Justice, Lady Justice Martha Koome. Wewe Martha Koome ni mtoto wetu hapa katika Mlima Kenya. Imekuwaje koti zako watu wote wakiwa wako na ile pombe baya, wanaenda mnapatia order waendelee kuuza sumu kwa watoto wetu. What has happened to our judges?
Gachagua said that the businessman behind the killer brew in Mwea had been arrested several times by security agencies but secured relief through court orders and continued to sell the alcohol.
Huyo mtu amepelekwa kotini mara 13 mkamwachilia. Saa hii watu wamekufa 23 Chief Justice and the judges of Kenya. What will you tell the people of Kirinyaga?
He further urged police to be relentless in the crackdown on illicit brew and shun bribes.
Na mimi niambie police officers in this region, mnajaribu mimi na William Ruto. You are trying us. Watu 23 wakikufa mlikuwa wapi? Ni kwa sababu nyinyi watu ya polisi kazi yenu ni kuchukua hongo kwa hii watu.
Serafina Robi for Easy Friday.
Meanwhile, National Assembly Budget and Appropriations Committee has dismissed a legislative proposal that seeks to map and formalize non-formal learning institutions commonly found in informal settlements. The Basic Education Amendment Bill, sponsored by Mathare MP Anthony Oluoch, if approved by the House, will compel the government to allocate an additional 2.8 billion shillings annually to cater for capitation and learning of over 2 million pupils in informal settlements who that are neither in public nor private schools. The committee, however, feels this move could encourage the mushrooming of such institutions at the expense of developing formal schools.
Appearing before the National Assembly Budget and Appropriations Committee, Mathare MP Anthony Oluoch said a majority of children in informal settlements are hardly admitted in either public or private schools, and their only source of education was non-formal institutions that are not recognized by the Ministry of Education.
These are informal learning institutions where on a Sunday it is a church, today Monday to Friday it is a school, non-governmental organizations, school halls and other facilities. So the basic end result of this is that we have about 1.8 million children whom we do not know how they transit, what happens to them, whether they eventually do exams.
The Basic Education Amendment Bill, if approved by the House, will provide for an allocation of at least 2.8 billion shillings annually to cater for capitation and learning for over 2 million pupils in informal schools. The Budget and Appropriations Committee, however, expressing reservations to the legislative proposal, fears formalizing such institutions could fuel their upsurge.
I would be very comfortable looking at the financial implication of this bill, and you know this will be a recurrent expenditure. I would be very comfortable if your bill was proposing for a one-off kind of impact in terms of budgetary allocations so that we solve the problem once and for all.
Because I'm wondering whether this is really regulated in terms of curriculum, you know, or everybody now will just open up mushrooming places so that they can get government funds. And
now, school infrastructure may not address this as a one-off item as such. The probable thing to do for me is to find how to formalize the ones that already exist.
Meanwhile, employees may get an additional 3 months for maternity leave and 2 weeks for paternity leave if the National Assembly adopts the Employment Amendment Bill. Defending the legislative proposal before the Budget Committee, the bill sponsor Naomi Wako said the additional days would be optional and the employee would only receive half of their basic salary.
The bill, as we have captured very well, is to help the young mothers to bond with their young infant babies. I came up with this proposal just to help the young mothers and the young families so that we can have healthy families.
Currently, employees get 3 months for maternity and 2 weeks for paternity leave. Rishoki Washira, Prime Edition.
In other news, the Environment Institute of Kenya now says both the national and county governments must move with haste to zone industries based on their functions and remove those dangerous in residential areas to avoid recurrence of tragedies akin to the Embakasi gas explosion. Now, of course, they also want environmental laws amended to meet present setup in the society.
Environmental experts under the umbrella of Environment Institute of Kenya convened Friday afternoon to deliberate on solutions aimed at preventing tragedies such as last Thursday night's gas explosion at Mradi in Embakasi that claimed 7 lives and injured over 300 people.
There's the planning department of the county government that stipulates where facilities that handle such hazardous substances should be placed, and those are the areas that the investigation should focus on. If at all there was a planning department that agreed that the gas plant is stationed next to where there are a lot of public, in Mradi, for example, where there are a lot of public dwelling in the neighborhood.
The experts, led by former Director General of the National Environmental Management Authority, NEMA, argued that county governments are mandated to ensure industries are located in the right zones, adding that the Embakasi gas explosion would have least or no casualties if it was located in an open area, as the law stipulates.
Everybody should be made alert of the dangers from the ward level to the county to the whole country, so that chiefs are also accountable to know where petrol is being placed. Governors and their agencies in energy should know what is where petrols are at petrol stations.
The environmentalists also demanded that such firms must employ qualified and experienced staff.
How can it be really? Here you have brought somebody to employ, you have employed somebody. He or she tells you she's an excellent electrical engineer, an excellent manager, an excellent civil engineer, comes in, may give you papers or may not give you papers. But this person may be asking very low money for having not had the papers. Therefore, the expertise, the knowledge of that person who ran away, I can't tell. That is wrong.
This follows reports that the person in charge of filling gas at the Embakasi plant fled the scene after failing to stop the leakage.
Question you ask about the person who ran away. But actually, when such kind of approval comes, definitely a report is prepared. And within this report, there is expectation of hierarchy of employment. Who will be the engineer, who will be the technician.
Giverson Minor, Easy Friday.
All right, and with that, it's time for us to take our first commercial break, but we will be back shortly. Don't go too far. This is Easy Friday.
Shamba ni mbili, yako ni gani? Kwa star 570 hash. Everyone has shillings unayotumia kwa Lucky Game inakupa 1 entry point ya kuingia kwenye drum ya draw ambayo inakupa fursa ya kujishindia moja kati ya shamba hizi mbili. Mwisho wa March namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings na unapata title deed yako safi. Na mwisho wa April namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings, lori za mawe na mchanga. Zote ndizo hizi. Dial star 570 hash. Title deed ndio hii. Buka na shake.
Sisi ni wale majibu ya rema. Sisi ni wale tuliosaidiwa.
Kile mimi najua kuna vita tuwezi shinda kama.
Many of us know the policies, the rules, and also the guidelines of operation when it comes to online operation. Who should be and who should not be there? How do you even make revenue and how do you control content? In this age of parenting, many parents give their children their phones.
We empower the child to be safe online and to have digital well-being. And then I equip parents to learn how to support that child to be safe on the internet space.
Remember, internet never forgets.
God is bringing out the best in my life.
Welcome back to Easy Friday. Now, the week-long National Youth Service Recruitment Program has finally come to an end, with Public Service Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria emphasizing that his ministry has ensured the recruitment program was free from corruption. Kuria says the 15,000 recruitments will help reduce the rate of unemployment in the country. Speaking at the Nyayo Stadium, the CS said the recruits will get opportunities to serve in other sectors like the Kenya Wildlife Service.
80% ya KWS tuna recruit leo. 80% ya Kenya Forestry Service tuna recruit leo. Karibu more than half wale watu tunatafutia makazi huko ng'ambo watatoka kwa hao vijana wakipata maarifa. Wale watu utapata kwa mabuilding zetu, wakirida mabuilding zetu za serikali, wakifanya kazi ya ujenzi, kazi ya maji, kazi ya dams, kazi ya water plants, kazi ya kulima, mechanization ya agriculture, ni hawa watu.
Moving on, Music Copyright Society of Kenya Chief Executive Officer Dr. Ezekiel Mutua has assured over 16,000 music artists that they will receive their quarterly royalty. Mutua, in calling for calm, faulted a section of artists for causing unnecessary panic about the ongoing disbursement.
Music Copyright Society of Kenya has kicked off this year's royalty distribution to 16,000 registered MCK members. The exercise is expected to lapse on the 29th of March. In an interview with KBC Channel 1, MCSK CEO Dr. Ezekiel Mutua urged musicians to update their data and enable them to receive their royalty.
Some of them do not have KRA PIN numbers with us, and we have to deduct withholding tax in line with the law. So that's the reason we gave that long period of time. And we made a public appeal for artists to ensure that they update their data so that we do the right thing. We are focused on serving our members, and our members will get their money in line with the adverts that we ran in the newspapers.
Earlier, a section of artists alleged that they have been left out in the ongoing payment.
Ninaumizwa kama msanii sababu ya ile system. Juu pesa ikiokotwa, all the CMOs inanikata pesa ya administration. Na hiyo ni kuniumiza.
It's being hard. In whatever platform is supposed to be making money. Sawa sawa, hiyo pesa ndio tuipati sisi wenyewe.
They also call on the government to allocate more funds to the youth empowerment programs.
Tuko na kulingana na katiba yetu ama Copyright Act, sahi msanii anaweza lipwa direct. CS tusaidie msanii apate skiza, pesa za skiza direct.
Which are geared towards ensuring that the funds generated from skiza tune sales are directly paid to the artist's mobile wallets.
In his response, Dr. Mutua said they're collaborating with various ministries to ensure the plight of musicians is addressed.
Who is in charge of this docket, following the last executive order, is now PS Ume Bashir. And she called us, all the stakeholders. We were about 13 institutions. And she said, I'll work with you. We will correct the mess. We are going to align ourselves, even as government agencies, to ensure that we support the creative economy.
He also urged artists to put in more effort in the industry and explore other avenues of income.
All right, now moving on, the port of Mombasa has today received the world's largest floating university, World Odyssey, popularly known as the Semester at Sea. The ship, which is carrying 500 students, 200 crew members, and 89 faculty members on board, operates as an academic voyage for students, and it will spend 6 days on Kenya's coastline, where the learners will visit institutions of higher learning for educational tours and also conduct excursions around the country. This is the third call for the ship at the port of Mombasa. Take a look.
At around 7 a.m. Friday, the world's largest floating university, MV World Odyssey, ferrying 500 students, 200 crew members and 89 faculty members, docked at the port of Mombasa. The ship, dubbed Semester at Sea, administered by the Institute of Shipboard Education in partnership with Colorado State University, has students drawn from over 20 nations. The Kenya Tourism Board said The visit is a big endorsement of Mombasa as a favorite port of call and also a big boost to the economy because the students will tour different sites in the country.
We can also confidently say that having closed the year last year at 3,123 tourists at the close of the year coming via the cruise ship, we are only in February and we are already experiencing a 50% growth. We are slightly over 6,000 now, including the last two that we have received in January and this month. So a big addition in terms of even injecting money into the economy, the students and the tourists also spending on the local economy, sightseeing and so on. So we are happy about the 6 days that are going to be here.
The campus executive dean Marty Fessenden said the floating university runs a unique program where they integrate learning and an opportunity for students to explore the world.
And the way the program functions is we are at sea between 100 and 105 days, depending on which semester. The students are in classes 50% of those days. The cruise ship has been converted to a college campus, and there are classrooms on the ship, and that's where our students take programs, take classes. For the other 50% of the voyage, they are in country. And Semester at Sea is very proud to say that Kenya is our first port of call in the continent of Africa. And for the first time ever in the history of the program, we will go to 5 ports in Africa. We're very privileged to be in Mombasa first. Our students will go all over your country. They're going to explore every corner of your country.
The students said they will use the voyage to explore different sites, Kenyan cuisine and culture.
I'm so excited for Kenya. I've only heard great things. I'm excited to meet the people, eat that food, see who has the best jollof rice. I'm going on a safari, and so I'm excited about that. I'm going to do some snorkeling, and I'm just excited to be here.
I'm very excited just to meet new people, see new things, just see what the culture and the people of Kenya are like in general.
I don't even know what to say. This is awesome. And then after we're going to Masamari for a 4-day safari, which I'm very excited for. Never done a safari or anything like that in my life, so this is going to be very eye-opening and very cool to see.
Shamba ni mbili, yako ni gani? Kwa star 570 hash. Every 100 shillings unayotumia kwa Lucky Game inakupa 1 entry point ya kuingia kwenye drum ya draw ambayo inakupa fursa ya kujishindia moja kati ya shamba hizi mbili. Mwisho wa March namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings na unapata title deed yako safi. Na mwisho wa April namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings, lori za mawe na mchanga. Zote ndizo hizi. Dial star 570 hash. Title deed ndio hii. Buka na shake.
Welcome to Sensei Institute, mahali skills zangu ni pesa mkononi. At Sensei College, practical skills is the definition. Accredited by the government and founded on a Christian background, Sensei College offers all-rounded programs that are tailor-made to enhance your skills and give you the future you desire. We offer courses such as interior design, fashion and design, hairdressing and beauty, hospitality courses, trailer driving and defensive driving, building construction technology, CCTV, solar and electrical installation, photography and video production, electronic courses, vehicle electronics and mechanic courses, agricultural mechanics, ICT, and many more. To enroll in any of our campuses in Nairobi and Nakuru, all you need is your national ID card. Mapema ndo best. Take advantage of our monthly intake. Come to kusort na skills. Sensei College, my skills, my future.
Across our continent, across the world, we are creating a better way to a better care.
Good evening. Thank you for watching Easy Friday Time for Business. My name is Betty Kiptum. Now, startups should start patenting their innovations before submitting them in pursuit for funding to commercialize or scale them up. This is according to International Telecommunication Union Director Komas Zavazava, who says even though a number of organizations have pledged 6 trillion shillings to fund startups globally, there is need for Kenyans to copyright their innovations before exposing them to potential investors.
Africa's startup funding decreased 36% in 2023 to 798 billion shillings, most of which went to fintechs. However, a number of innovators have raised concerns about their ideas being stolen and implemented by would-be investors. These cases have been attributed to startups failing to patent their ideas before detailing them to the public in their pursuit for funding.
With the startups and with the innovation, we tell our young people to also make sure that they register their novelty ideas, protect them, because there are some who are good, they lie in ambush, they get the ideas, they protect them as if they are their original ideas. And
the International Telecommunication Union says a number of organizations have pledged over 6 trillion shillings to finance innovations globally. Part of the pledged funds will go towards incubating local innovations and linking them to potential off-takers.
it doesn't only support innovation, it also supports digital skills development to bridge the gap between those who know and those who don't know, and make sure that they understand the true situation and how they can harness technology for a better life.
If there's an idea that offers a solution to a pressing need or a challenge, that idea will of course attract attention. And so we need to focus our young people to generating ideas, innovative ideas that are addressing challenges the challenges that we have in the continent.
Most local startups are said to lack the capacity to come up with bankable pitches as well as meet the requirements demanded by investors.
Just companies get very, very excited. They just use anecdotal evidence and think, wow, there's this need for this, or I've developed something, but they've not really thought about the potential business opportunity.
Africa must pour everything it can into enabling our youth, build the requisite capacity to take advantage of investments in ICT to develop and commercialize ideas.
The local innovators are calling for establishment of a government-supported platform that they can use to showcase their creations. Benson Rioba reporting for Easy Friday.
And a discussion on how to tap emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and robotics will be among issues on the table at the upcoming Connected Africa Summit, slated to be held this April in Nairobi. ICT Authority CEO Stanley Kamanguya says the 5-day forum will discuss how the continent can work together to leverage new technologies as well as increase adoption of e-commerce as an avenue to grow trade in a secure and efficient landscape.
We are focusing on attracting global investments and fostering local entrepreneurship with an emphasis on digital human capital and job creation. Our goal is to cultivate a digitally skilled workforce, driving innovation and entrepreneurship. There is need to address the challenges of insufficient deployment in digital skills and persistent cyber security threats that weakens the trust in use of mobile money.
We are here again as a team to look into the future of Africa. And we cannot go alone as a government. We want to work together once again to see this come true.
We want to have this event hosted in Kenya for a number of years so that we drive the force, and then after that, after several years, maybe 3-5 years, we can then have a process of people bidding. Now we start rotating the conference across the rest of the countries. So really, for me, is to request for your support and to ask you to be innovative as much as you can, so that then we can have world-class Connected Africa Summit.
Kenya faces an annual livestock fodder shortage of 60% of the total 55 million metric tons required, half of which is due to post-harvest losses. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mithika Linturi says stepping up hay and sunflower production as well as mechanization are among ways to address the animal fodder shortage.
Animal feed is among the challenges livestock farmers in Kenya face. This has been partly blamed on reliance on rain-fed agriculture for fodder production, with pastoralists bearing the brunt whenever there is drought.
I call on African Union member states to speedily take action in this call to realize its benefit. I also call on the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and our other strategic partners like the EU, if they are present, the African Development Bank, and the other financial institutions to support this call and urgently provide resources to end feed and fodder shortage on the African continent. Yeah.
Agriculture Cabinet Secretary says livestock fodder shortage in Kenya is enormous.
We are trying to bring down the gap of fodder, of the amount that we use as a country, by making sure that as we grow our animal food, then the remains are properly utilized to feed our animals. We are running projects in my ministry that are ended or geared towards growing fodder for our animals.
Kenya is currently facing an annual feed shortage of 60%. He says plans are underway to invest 26 billion shillings in the dairy, beef and leather clusters, which includes mechanization and increase of hay and sunflower production to address livestock feed shortage.
We all know in this country the cost of animal feed is highly high and is really prohibitive to our young farmers. And the need why this government has put in measures to seriously address the issue of animal feed and human food, because food and nutritional security is so critical to the human race.
He says sound animal breeding practices and enhancing animal health services are key drivers to transforming the dairy, beef and leather clusters. Edna Murungi for Easy Friday.
And the government has commissioned a 6.8 billion shillings irrigation scheme in Makueni County. The Utangwa irrigation scheme is expected to transform the livelihoods of the people by improving agricultural production for increased income for farmers.
The Utangwa irrigation scheme project, which cost shillings 6.8 billion, had the government of Kenya contributed 690 million. With the African Development Bank loan of shilling 3.8 billion and the Global Agriculture and Food Security Program giving a grant of 2.3 billion, the 10 micro irrigation scheme, 1 grading and marketing shed, 4 other dams, 1 surface dam, 8 boreholes, 1 livestock sale yard, 1 honey refinery and kitchen gardens have already been commissioned to improve post-harvest storage and for increased incomes to the farmers. Additionally, Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mithika Linturi also distributed 1,800 bags of subsidized fertilizer for issues to farmers in Makueni County, as well as 100,000 free animal vaccines for livestock farmers in Makueni, Machakos and Kitui counties. Makueni Governor Mtula Kilonzo, who was the president during the commission of the Utangwa irrigation scheme, hailed the launch of the project.
Our commitment, and I've given directions to Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service, which is ended by one of your great children from this region, Professor Mutui, hakikisha ya kwamba amevamia manduka yote kuangalia ya kwamba hakuna mbegu guchi ambazo zinauzwa katika taifa letu.
And we must condemn the people who are selling fake seeds. Mtu anatengeneza pesa na jasho na machozi ya Wakenya. It's wrong. Na kwa hivyo mtusaidie ili these people just need tukiwapatia, and the last time walivuna vizuri pia, other than this tuliwapatia mbegu. We bought certified seeds.
Felix Q, Easy Friday.
And that is the business this evening. Of course, Marakwet Express is bringing you the sports after this short break. My name is Betty Kiptum. Enjoy the rest of your viewing. Bye-bye.
Across our continent, across the world, we are creating a better way to a better future.
Get ready for the captivating return of the FKF Premier League, exclusively on KBC. Brace yourself for the thrill of football as 18 teams battle it out for glory. Every week, KBC brings you not one, but two heart-pounding matches, delivering the best football action right to your living room. The stakes are higher than ever. The league champion takes home a handsome prize of 5 million shillings and also earns the honor of representing Kenya in the prestigious CAF Champions League. Feel the adrenaline, experience the suspense, and join the roar of the crowd as we celebrate the return of Kenya's football legacy. The FKF Premier League, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1 and KBC radio stations. Save the date, mark your calendars, and get ready for the ultimate football spectacle. Coming to you live only on KBC. KBC, your true sports partner.
Welcome back to Easy Friday. My name is Karen Kibet. Let's now talk sports. Nigeria and hosts Ivory Coast will battle for the Africa Cup of Nations 2023 title in the final to be played at the Olympic Stadium of Ebimpe on Sunday, while South Africa and DR Congo will clash in the third place playoff match on Saturday at Felix Bonyi Stadium. The much-awaited Champions League round of 16 is set to return next week on Tuesday night with enticing fixtures after a 2-month break. FC Copenhagen will play Manchester City at Parken Stadium, while Leipzig play Real Madrid at Red Bull Arena. On Wednesday night, PSG will face Real Sociedad, while Lazio play Bundesliga giants Bayern Munich.
No time to dwell on the Derby Day demolition. Champions League points up for grabs, and Haaland.
For those who don't have any Valentine's plan, you now have one. Watch the Champions League. Now finally, sprinting great Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce will retire from athletics after the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. The 3-time Olympic champion will retire due to family reasons.
It's glorious gold once again to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, one of the greatest sprinters of all time, will hang up a step on the track and win medals, but it's imperative to think about the upcoming generation as well. For Easy Friday, I'm Emmanuel Ndungu.
Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce from Elaine Thompson-Herah. 5 world titles.
And those are all the sports stories we had for you tonight. Do not forget that the third place playoff of the AFCON tournament and the final stakes center stage this weekend. Do not miss out on any fixture. My name is Karen Kibet. Have yourself a lovely weekend. I now hand you back to my colleague Shiksha Arora.
All right, thank you very much for the latest update in the world of sports. Of course, it has been very exciting with AFCON ongoing, and the finale is going to be here very soon. So we'll find out who emerges as champion of AFCON this year. Right, now we've got one last story that I'll leave you with. It's all about my culture, where Rumba, a popular genre of music rooted in Africa and which originated in the ancient kingdom of Congo, now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo and Congo-Brazzaville, in the 1940s. Over the years, different African countries have adopted and localized Rumba. This week on My Culture, we focus on Kenyan Rumba music. My name is Shiksha Arora. The sign language interpreter tonight has been Byron Abuli. Good night. I'll see you next week. And do enjoy My Culture on KBC Channel 1. This is Easy Friday.
The hit song Sina Makosa by Leswanyika Band fills the air. The 10-man orchestra plays the guitar, trumpet, bass, among other instruments, as they sing their hearts out. The band rose to fame more than 40 years ago with Swahili Rumba music.
Si hatukuwa tunaimba kizungu ama copyright za kizungu. Kama hizo bendi kuna bendi zilikuwa zinacheza kizungu. Zinajulikana hapa Kenya, zenye zilikuwa zinacheza kizungu, lakini sisi tulibase kwa Kiswahili, Rumba Swahili.
The group originated from the legendary band Simba Wanyika, which was formed in 1978.
Kile kukutana, watu vile wanakutana, unajua inakuwa gani vigumu kuelezea vile watu wanakutana. Umenielewa? Lakini mwanzilishi wa hizo Wanyika alikuwa Wilson Peter. Alitokea Tanzania, Tanga, kwa bendi inaitwa Jamhuri Jazz. Akatoka Jamhuri Jazz akaunda Arusha Jazz. Akahamia Mombasa. Kufika Mombasa akabadilisha jina, ndio akaitwa Simba Wanyika.
The renowned band, initially comprising members from Tanzania and Kenya, came to life when drummer Rashid Juma, guitarist Omar Shabani, bassist Tommy Malanga, saxophonist Sijali Salom Zoa, and Foni Mkwanyule left the Simba Wanyika band. They were joined by guitarist John Gereza and vocalist Issa Juma.
Nacheza gita la besi. Na gita la besi ni waya 4 kama ngoma za kienyeji wa ngoma 4. Sasa mimi ndo nilichukulia ujuzi wangu kutoka zile ngoma, ndo nikaanza kucheza besi. Kupiga ngoma nzito nzito hivi, mitungi.
Close to a score, the band was at the helm of their music career. However, it all came crashing down.
Sasa kuna wenzetu wenye walituacha. Sasa wakati walituacha ndo tukapumzika kiasi. Kilichofanya turudi ni hizi nyimbo zetu. Watu wengi walikuwa tushauri kwamba Kenya mzima, East Africa, mpaka tuseme huko south huko, nyimbo za Leswanyika ukikanyaga huko, kama unatoka East Africa, lazima kama ni bendi lazima utaulizwa Sina Makosa. Sina Makosa hizo, Paulina. Sasa ndio tukashauriwa kwamba kama mimi na Tommy Malanga na Rashid Juma tupo, kwa nini tusiendeleze bendi? Kwa sababu nyimbo ndio zimetufanya sasa tuendeleze bendi.
Majirani na rafiki tulishakufanya sana.
After 24 years hiatus, the group made a comeback due to public demand. In 2019, the new team comprised of trumpeter Sijali Zoa, bassist Tommy Malanga, trumpeter Bernard Kilindo, lead guitarist Albert Tuesday Oguro, rhythm guitarist Johnny Sapi, drummer Nsabaha Zuberi, vocalist Rama Kota, Charles Obala, Rajab Kadima and percussionist Hassan Mohammed. One of the founders and trumpeter Sijali Zoa says most of their songs were inspired by real-life stories. For instance, the famous hit song Sina Makosa emerged after one of their band members was involved in a bar fight with another man over a woman.
Sina Makosa ni story ya ukweli. Na Leswanyika nyimbo zetu nyingi zinakuwaga za matukio ya ukweli. Yes. Sasa Sina Makosa, Profesa Omali alikuwa na girlfriend wake tuseme, lakini alikuwa anafikiria ni wake yeye binafsi peke yake, kumbe walikuwa jamaa wawili walizozania huko kwa bar. Sasa Profesa Omali akapata tu hiyo kwamba wewe una wako nyumbani, mimi na wako nyumbani, chuki ya nini?
One of the reasons attributed to the loyal following of rumba songs is the combination of musical beauty in its lyrics, melody, instrumentation on top of narrating touching stories.
Na ni bendi ambayo inacheza rumba ile wao wenyewe wanapenda ile rumba ya Leswanyika, sababu nyimbo zetu ni za mawaidha mazuri, zina mafunzo, hata Wakenya wenyewe wanazipenda.
Lakini Leswanyika nyimbo zetu ama za Simbawanyika unaweza kusikia ukiwa hata na mama mkwe, watoto, unasikia kwa sababu ziko na mafundisho.
Leswanyika redefined the Kenyan rumba musical landscape with their varied hits like Safari ya Samburu, Afro, Barua Yako, Amigo, among others. In Central Africa, the word rumba is derived from the Kikongo word for novel, nkumba. Despite its African origins, rumba is closely associated with Latin dance. The style of rumba that emerged in Cuba in the 19th century had its roots in the drumming of slaves from Central Africa, which was then combined with melodies from Cuba's Spanish colonizers. When political turmoil engulfed Congo immediately after independence, records from Congo started finding markets across the border, and one of the things that defined the Congolese emigrants around East Africa was the music band. Most of these bands played rumba. From the stature of a Congolese style, the genre acquired local acceptance to the extent that Swahili was used to sing rumba music. These included Congolese bands like Orchestra Make in Tanzania alongside Mzee Makasi, which played rumba in Swahili. But also local bands and musicians such as Simba Wanyika, Les Wanyika, Fundi Konde, Daudi Kabaka and Fadhili William, choosing to sing rumba in Swahili. Furthermore, some local bands choose to adopt rumba to the local Kenyan dialects. For instance, Kabasele Ocheng of Lunakidi Band and Musa Juma of Limpopo International Band established themselves as rumba greats who could play but sang in pure Dholuo with Swahili. Others choose to lean towards the Congolese style, such as Komboze from Taita. Along with Benga, rumba is one of the most popular beats on the pop scene in Kenya. Even as music evolves with time, more youthful musicians emerge as well as other music styles. The iconic Leswanyika band points out that rumba has not been short of loyal followers, even as they highlight that new music is in the works and their spirit remains unmatched.
Sahi ama kila bendi inataka kucheza staili ya Leswanyika. Ndio naona vijana wanaiga ili wapate ule mood ama style ya kucheza muziki ya rumba kama Leswanyika. Wakifanya bidii watakuwa kama sisi, sababu hata sisi ni bidii yetu, mazoezi kwa wingi na kujitunza. Hata wao wakifanya bidii na kujitunza, basi watakuwa kama sisi.
Mipango iko, tunajaribu pia kupata wafadhili. Tupate pia wafadhili wenye watatusponsor.
Tumekuja kuzisimamia tena vizuri shauri ya nyimbo zetu. Ni nyimbo tu za heshima, tunaweza piga pale popote vile, hata izalia tu mbele ya wazazi wako, haina hivyo.
Jackie Wambiru, My Culture.
Shamba ni mbili, yako ni gani? Kwa star 570 hash. Everyone has shillings unayotumia kwa Lucky Game inakupa 1 entry point ya kuingia kwenye drum ya draw ambayo inakupa fursa ya kujishindia moja kati ya shamba hizi mbili. Mwisho wa match namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings na unapata title deed yako. Safi. Na mwisho wa April namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings, lori za mawe na mchanga.